Subtraction principle. So to move a positive term, we do the opposite and subtract. So, right, there's a rule, and whatever we do to one side of the equation, then we must do to the other side of the equation. So if we have our old, say, we have our old scale, right, and then it has some kind of, right, we can add weights to it, right? So if we had weights, right, what happens if, right, if we take one away on one side, in order for this to stay, right, balanced, we have to remove it on the other side. So this would go away, right? This one right here would go away, and this one right here would have to go away too. So it would stay balanced. So let's look at some examples. So example 1. You and your friend go out to lunch. The total for the bill was $22.50. Your friend calculates that their part of the bill costs $14.25. What is your portion of the bill? So we're going to use this equation below to help us solve. So we have 22.5. We could add the 0, right? Or we can just leave it as 0.5. Either one is right, it means the same value. Then we have x plus 14.25. So in order for us to get rid of this positive number, to get the variable on one side, because we want x to be on this side by itself, we're going to go ahead and subtract 14.25 on both sides, because we have to do it to both sides in order for this equal sign to stay true. So this, right, becomes 0. This becomes just x plus 0, so just x. Then we're going to go ahead and subtract. Let's go ahead and borrow. 10 minus 5 is 5. 4 minus 2 is 2. Borrow again, 8. So what's your total for the bill? $8.25. And so, right, if we were to go back, substitute this value for this variable, right, we could go ahead and add, and then we would get to 22.5. So to show that we did it correctly, right? It's a way to check ourselves. So let's look at the next example. So 6 out of 19 students have a peanut allergy. How many students do not have a peanut allergy? We're going to use this equation below to help us solve. So we have 19 students. 6 of them have a peanut allergy, right? Plus x, which is the non-peanut allergy people. So let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and subtract on both sides. So we have a 6 here. We'll subtract the 6 on here and a 6 on here. And we do this because this becomes 0. And then we have x by itself, which is exactly what we want. We need to have where x equals a number. And so on the other side of the equal sign will be our number. So 19 minus 6 is 13. So x is equal to 13. Right, and if we were to plug that in, 6, right? So if we have 6 plus 13, well, 6 plus 13 is equal to 19, so this checks out. Right, so this is how we can check our answers. Now let's do one final example. So example 3, we're going to use the equation below to help us solve for x. So we have x plus 22 is equal to 45. So we're going to go ahead, get x by itself. We had this positive number, so we're going to go ahead and do the opposite and subtract. So we do it to both sides. This just becomes 0. And then we're left with 45 minus 22. 5 minus 2, 3. 4 minus 2 is 2. So x then is equal to 23. So that would be our solution.